Let's
clap the top.
Wow, that was not our best.
Welcome to Drunk Wives Club, as we have an awkward pause, for a very special edition. We have been talking for, I don't even know, probably 14, 15 episodes at this point about having a drinking segment on one of our episodes, and we finally have it for you. Unfortunately, we are virtual because our lives just didn't align
It
with
doesn't
being
work out.
no, but it's going to be pretty hard to see what we're doing. But we'll walk you through it, obviously, because a lot of people just listen and don't watch YouTube anyway. But we are doing a Girl Scout pairing with beer. So I know we talked about this the past couple of episodes, but honestly, we've talked about a lot the last couple of episodes and haven't done any of it. So surprise, we actually are doing it.
Following through on something we said we would do. And, I'm excited to try all these different beers because I am not one to venture out of my IPA comfort zone.
No, which I feel like is going to be pretty interesting for Jess because there's not a lot of that in this flight. So, essentially, we have 4 beers and 4 different cookies that we're going to try, and we'll just go through them and show you what we're doing. But then we'll also post on our Instagram what it looks like, just in case anybody is curious, and then we can kind of go along and say like what types of beers for people that, because I tried to pick local beers for the most part. There's only one that's not. But I can go through like the types of beers that go with these. I did some research, but I also did this last year, so just not with Jess. So I'm pretty excited.
I was actually thinking about it today because I'm like, how did she have time to put all this effort into pairing the cookies with the beer? Like,
I'm
how
not
do you
gonna lie, it was a little it was a little bit of work, but we do it for our listeners.
we do it for the drunk wives of the
And
world?
yeah.
Husbands.
And ourselves because
Yeah,
we get to drink the beer and eat the cookies. So no one really loses out in this situation.
yeah, everybody wins. So what do? Do we eat the cookie first or do we drink the beer first?
So that's a great question. So I did all this research and I don't actually know the answer to that question. So I think you actually, I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know.
even know if it
I
matters.
think you actually eat the cookie and then you drink the beer. That's what I think.
And another fun fact about my life is I've only ever eaten a couple Girl Scout cookies in my whole life. So I've never even tried these, which are
Oh,
caramel bites, aren't they?
yes.
People rave about them, but I've just never eaten them. I'm a total Thin Mint person.
Yes. Jess again is like pretty basic. So when it comes to food and just mostly
Do
food,
not give me this weird looking cookie because I will go for the Thin Mint over this one.
I know. So we're gonna start with the caramel delights, and we're pairing it with Conshohocken Brewery's Puddler's Row, which is a extra special bitter. So it's like an English style ale. It's really good. I've had it before. I'm not gonna lie, I do like it much more with this cookie. So out of everything that we're trying, I actually this is like the only one I've had. So like last year when I did this, I had this beer and this cookie, and it was pretty good. So
I've
well,
only ever had type A from Conshohocken Brewery too, so this is gonna be like a whole tasting adventure for me.
so exciting. Okay, are we ready? All right. So watching Jess's face is already priceless. It's a good start. She probably doesn't like the cookie.
What is the base of the cookie? Is it a shortbread?
Um, I don't know.
Hmm.
No, no. I think it's like
What's that in it?
I don't know. Okay, well you have to drink the beer then after you eat. You don't have to eat the whole cookie. You can eat a couple of bites and then you have the beer.
I feel like I can't not eat a whole cookie
Whole
and I
cookie.
just
Well, I'm going to eat the whole cookie, but
hmm.
I find it delicious.
I don't hate it. The first bite I hated it.
Well, yeah, but then
Ooh.
right? So you didn't like the beer when you had it before. and then you ate the cookie and then you liked the beer more,
If I had to eat a cookie to drink a beer, I would do it.
right? No, again, no one really loses in this. Beer and cookie.
That is delicious.
Okay, so general consensus, you like it?
I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but I'll drink it.
But do you like it with the cookie?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
cookie, I don't think I would drink it just by itself.
No, well, it's not your type of beer, so I think that that makes sense.
The other day, I only had the option of a Goose Island IPA, and it wasn't bad, to be honest.
I
I
haven't had that in a long time. I had it before it started to be like mass produced, I think.
Yeah, I don't like mass-produced IPAs like that, but it wasn't terrible. It got the job done.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so we have officially done our first cookie and beer. So now we're going to get into some of our topics for today. We're actually just really excited for this episode in general. So I know, was it last episode? We talked about, no, a couple of episodes ago, we talked about hot takes. So we asked on our social media what people like, what their hot takes were. And we did have a few good ones.
Ooh, lay it
My
on.
favorite one is that charcuterie boards are overrated.
Ooh, that is a juicy one.
I think that's like the best. I think that's better than some of ours.
Yeah, I definitely think people have taken charcuterie boards to another level, and really it's just the basics. Like you just need meat, cheese, and crackers, not all of this fancy shit.
I know, but sometimes I think that makes it good. I would need to understand where this person's head was at just to like know why. I should have probably asked that follow-up question, but I totally get it because if you go to somebody's house and that's like all they have, aren't you a little disappointed? Like, aren't you like, this is nice, but I'm still going to be really hungry?
Yes, charcuterie boards do not fill me up, but I will say that is my contribution to any holiday dinner is I make a charcuterie board and it's like themed based on Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter. But if that was the only thing I could eat for the night, I probably would have wished I brought McDonald's chicken nuggets or something.
What do you mean it's themed? What do you do with that?
Like for Thanksgiving, I make a charcuterie board shaped like a turkey.
Oh my gosh.
Christmas, I did it as Santa. And then Easter, I do it as a bunny.
Wow. Do you have any pictures of those
Of
things?
course I do. I'm douchey. I take photos and post it on Instagram for the day.
We'll have to post those, I think. I don't think you've ever showed those to me before.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know, but I definitely have photos. That is a great hot take, though. Whoever said that, I
I know.
could.
I know. I thought that was definitely the best one we got. Then we got a few more. Um, and the next one I obviously don't agree with, which I know our listeners will not be surprised by, but the tequila is awful.
Ooh.
And I don't know if that's like necessarily a hot take because I feel like people with tequila either love it or hate it, and there's no in between.
Yeah. I feel like that's not necessary. I wouldn't classify that as a hot take. I would classify that as an opinion, which I guess hot takes are opinions, so I don't know.
I think they're just like strong opinions. Like you
Yeah.
feel, but this person feels very strongly about all their opinions that said this. So I feel like they feel very strongly about it. Like I have been with them before, and I think I've had tequila with them before, and they very much judged me for having tequila.
I
So
definitely don't love tequila as much as I did in college. Like, it's not necessarily my drink of choice anymore. I'll drink it, but I don't, that's not the first thing I would order.
you had tequila in college?
Yeah. Didn't
I,
you?
no,
Oh.
no, I had it. I know I already said this on an episode, but I had it like somebody got me a Patron shot on my 21st birthday, and it was like my 6th or 7th shot, and I was like, I'm not taking this. And they were like, but it's really expensive, and I was like, I don't want this, and I didn't, and then I never had it. So
I tried to drink it's because I'm a big vodka soda person. So I was like, maybe I'll just start doing tequila sodas. It's not the same. It doesn't taste like lemon water.
No, I don't think that it would. I don't think either of those things taste like lemon water. I'm just a put tequila in a glass and I will drink it type of
Straight?
gal. I could, yeah. If I
Ugh,
had like a lime, if I had a lime after, yeah,
you're not right.
I know. That's okay. And then the last one that I'll say is that PB&J is gross.
Oh, really?
I know, that's it's not mine.
I feel
It's
like
whatever.
P&J is a staple in everybody's life forever.
Well, I never had a peanut butter and jelly until I was in college.
Did you have peanut butter and fluff?
No, but Mark used to be obsessed with that, and he used to eat fluff all the time in college. We have a giant fluff container in our home that we have maybe used 4 times. Like, I can't even tell you how old it is. I saw it the other day. I'm like, "We really, really need to throw this out." Mark's like, "Well, we could use it." And I'm like, "If it's still good 4 years after we bought it, it should tell you that it shouldn't be in your body." Of all people, because he cares so much about that
Yeah, that
stuff. I'm like,
it's pretty
"Not
much
really
like
thinking about that."
marshmallow, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just, like, straight up sugar.
Yeah, that maybe reminds me of Uncrustables, and I will still say I will write a letter to the maker of Uncrustables that they should bring back the grilled cheese ones because those ones were freaking amazing.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they discontinued them. I don't know why. It was literally just a frozen patty of cheese, and it was amazing.
Yeah, but then, like, what how'd you eat it? Because don't you with Uncrustables, when you unfreeze them, like, you just let them thaw and then you eat it?
Would microwave it for 30 seconds, and it was pretty much fake cheese in the center, but
Well, obviously.
it definitely wasn't real, and it probably wasn't good for you, but it was
No,
delicious.
probably not. My gosh. Okay. So, I don't know, like, I do think it's a staple, and I do think that's a hot take, but I don't know if I agree with it or not. I haven't had one in a really long time. Like, I'll have a peanut butter sandwich, which is what I used to have, like, a long time ago, but I have to have the right kind of jelly.
Yeah, I haven't had one in a while either. I'm not the biggest jelly fan. I could eat any type of peanut butter, but I never crave like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever craved that before,
Interesting.
but I
But
would eat it a lot. What?
now I want an Uncrustable, and I might have to go to the store tomorrow and buy some.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't feel that strongly about it, but yeah.
Are we allowed to eat the Thin Mints now?
Yeah. Okay. So now our next pairing. Oh wait, I didn't say. So for if anyone like wants to try this for caramel delights, it's pretty much like that you could use like a lot of stuff for. Essentially, they were like a lager, a dark lager, an ESB, which is what we had it with. Like there was a lot of choices for that. But I really liked the ESB, so that's what I would suggest having that with.
I
And then
ask you, did you give me a whole sleeve of Thin Mints and shortbreads because you knew they were my favorite?
I will not lie. I wanted to say yes, but mostly it was because it was the easiest way to pack them.
Oh,
So,
I was like, wow, she gave me 2 sleeves of my favorite cookie.
I mean, if I didn't give them to you, I would have eaten them all, and I got myself 2 whole things of the chocolate peanut butter patties.
Those are
So,
different. But
those are my favorite.
this is why I have strong feelings about the Girl Scouts. Their cookies get smaller every year.
I'm not gonna lie, especially the caramel delights are
Yeah, like, there's no way
so
this used to be this small all the time.
no, it didn't. They used to be a lot bigger. They did used to be a lot bigger. Okay, so then next up, we have our favorite Thin Mints, and then we are going to drink it with Southern Tier's Irish Cream Stout, which Jess will hate and I will love. This might be my favorite pairing. I have not had this, so I am excited.
These are so freaking good. I don't know what makes them so good, but they're delicious. I'm scared of the beer. I don't hate it with this cookie.
I told you. I
and
told you.
stout. Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Mhm.
That you would just eat a whole sleeve of Thin Mints without a beer?
Yeah,
Mhm,
definitely.
mhm, mhm.
Um, Thin Mints are definitely the superior cookie of all Girl Scout cookies. And somebody actually told me if you get the Oreo mint cookies, it tastes like a Thin Mint.
Well, there's also Keebler's. Do you remember Keebler? Like, they have the little elf on
Yeah.
all they have a cookie, and it's called a grasshopper, and they have them all year round, and it's a literal Thin Mint.
You know, every year I buy at least 4 boxes of Thin Mints and I freeze them, but then I forget about them and never eat them. Because after a while, you just kind of get sick of them. Like, I feel like it's good because you get excited for Girl Scout cookie season. And then when you get them, you're like, wow, I love these cookies, but I definitely don't want to eat them for more than a month.
Yeah, I'll give it, like, 2. I think when it starts to be, like, April, the only ones that I would want are the chocolate peanut butter ones because 'cause
Mhm.
I'm just, like, obsessed with them. Okay, so we also forgot to
To say,
tell you no, forgot to tell you when we're recording this, which is
oh,
Valentine's Day. Um, so I think we told you before, but we have spent at least one Valentine's Day together before, and we just felt that it was very necessary to record and show that you can be with any of your loved ones on Valentine's Day.
I also meant to ask you today, what are you and Mark doing for Valentine's Day?
Nothing.
Yeah, us either. Anthony texted me today and said, would you like me to take you on a date to Red Robin? And I was like, of course, because cheeseburgers are my favorite meal. So what more could I ask for on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, cheeseburgers are the way to your heart.
Yeah, so it's great. But I feel like as you're like in a relationship for a couple years, it's not like a big deal.
No, I also just feel like again, we talked about this on our Valentine's Day episode, like, I just don't like going out anytime around this. Like, I know you're going into, Philly this weekend, so I'll be curious to see, like, how your experience is, but I think this weekend is gonna be nuts with going out, so, I just and my birthday's next week, so we'll just do something, like, to celebrate probably the following weekend, which is and it'll probably honestly be hanging with you and Missy, and
Yeah.
that's really what it's gonna
Happy
be.
Valentine's Day and birthday. You get the best of
Yeah,
both.
exactly. So, yeah, we're not really doing anything. I went to leave the house today, and I said, "Oh, happy Valentine's Day," and he said, "Oh, yeah," and he's like, "Well, every day is Valentine's Day because we celebrate our love every day, and
Oh my God, that's so cute though.
if that's not a mark statement, I don't know what is." So, I don't think we're doing much, but I will say that my son is now in, like, the Valentine's Day card, like, phase, now that he is older. He's not older, but he's older than he was a year ago, and so now, they do all these Valentines, and he got, like, such cute stuff. Like, he got, like, one of those, like, Pop-It things
Mm.
and, like, a pencil, which I don't think he can use, but and I like, they got, like it was a really cute, shovel, and it says, "I dig you." Like, it's so cute. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he cleaned up at less than 2 years old."
What
So,
a man.
I
I was
know.
actually watching a video the other day and I couldn't stop laughing thinking about which one of my children's would do this. It was this little girl got to design her own Valentine's Day cards for her class. So she wrote everybody's name on a card and individually wrote each of them a note. And most of them are really sweet. It was like, you're cool. I like your hair. Your clothes are neat. And then the one person got to him and it was Colin, and all she wrote was do better. And I'm like, which child would write do better? And all I could think of, I feel like Paxton would write that.
Yeah, Missy's son probably would. I don't know, but I will say that when I was in, like, the 4th grade, 4th or 5th grade, we handed out valentines, and they're all like the generic ones. I think it was like a Nickelodeon pack at that point. I don't know. And for like all of the guys ones, I like made it clear that it was like generic and it wasn't my feelings. So it was like, "Oh, you're so cool." And I would put like not in front of the cool because I was like, they can't think that I'm like in love with them. And one guy was so mad at me that he was like, "That's so mean, like, you can take your Valentine back." And that's when I realized I was like, "Oh." I was like, I just didn't want it to I don't know.
That just comes across the wrong way.
Apparently I've been weird with boys my whole life, I guess, is what this is telling me since that was, like, 4th or 5th grade. So,
I
yeah,
texted Ashley earlier and she just responded, but I said, "Can you please tell Riley she's my number one Valentine?" And she's like, "I just told her." And her response was, "Does she have a present for me?"
ugh, I feel like Riley could be the one that says, "Do better."
She could kill you with her looks, and I'm scared of her.
Keep it that way, girlfriend. I love that. That'll get her far.
Hmm.
It
Well,
will get her far.
should we
Uh,
say our
apparently
topic of the day, of the
so
evening?
yes, you go for it.
Well, I am so excited because Shannon's coworker came up with this genius topic for us, which I wish I thought of. It is what gives you the ick? And I'm so excited because right off the bat, I thought of so many. And I feel like there's just so many opinions on what could give you the ick.
There's actually so many.
And it
So
really so much I do not like people's mannerisms or like just things about them. So
yeah.
I'm glad we already have our people because I don't think we would be able to make new friends because we
No,
don't.
I don't think so. Or like we would, but we don't know if we could be like truly ourselves with new people. But I will say, so again, shout out to Lizzie, my coworker who came up with this. Because we did hot takes and then I said, "Oh, like do you have a hot take that you want me to like talk about?" And she was like, "Have you ever done X?" And I was like, "No, but that's what we're going to do right now." So then we were talking about it earlier today and she was like, "Well, there is a difference between like an ick and something that is like you absolutely won't stand for. So it's like a deal breaker." And I'm
Okay.
like, "Oh, that's like such a good point." So like an ick is something that you just like it like genuinely disgusts you. It's like, ugh, like it takes you aback. But like if there's something that's like you absolutely can't handle it, then that is therefore a deal breaker. So if you want to bring up any of them, just think about if that's actually an ick or if it's a deal breaker.
I don't know if I have any deal breakers. Should I?
I'm sure I do.
Maybe
I'm
that's a red flag.
I'm sure I do. Okay, do you wanna go first? What's your first one?
I'll start with my very simple ick, and it's definitely men. Okay, I'll be talking about men, not women.
I thought
Men,
you were just gonna say that your ick is men, and I thought that was amazing.
my ick with certain men is men who wear tube socks. I just don't think they're attractive. I don't want to see your socks, especially not your white high-rise Nike socks. I can't get behind it. But it's
Okay.
definitely not a deal breaker because I feel like if you wear tube socks and you're dating somebody who doesn't like tube socks, you could just wear different socks.
Yes, agreed. Also, I think that's, like, a really funny ick for you because, your husband just, like, doesn't wear shoes, he always wears flip-flops.
The first time, I don't know if I said this, when he first moved here and was shoveling snow, he shoveled snow in vans, and everybody was very confused why this man was in skateboard shoes and not boots. Because clearly snow gets in your shoe and then you're cold.
You're freezing.
I don't know who's outside my front door. Interesting. Well, yes, that is my first ick. What is yours?
Okay, so my first one is it's not a deal breaker, but it would be, like, pretty close, like, I'd have to have, like, multiple conversations about this, and it's asked to no surprise because I feel like it's, like, about my daddy issues, but I literally cannot handle when people call their significant other daddy. It's like a true cringe ick. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And
I
it's in the context of, like, something sexual or something, like, not related to actually being a father, because I call Mark daddy to my son all the time. Like,
I
not that's not
I thought you
weird.
were going somewhere else with that statement. I wish you just stopped at I call Mark daddy and had
No,
a long pause.
no. Like, I can't handle that, and like, I know people that do it, and I'm like, "I don't understand, like, what in your right mind," like, it's just I don't understand it. I mean, again, I get that people do it. I don't even really wanna know why, to be honest. Like, I don't want any
If you
follow-up
do it,
questions.
tell us why.
No, I don't. I'm not putting that poll on there. Like, I don't wanna know, but I just what possesses someone to, like, literally get in bed with someone and be like, "Oh, daddy, sorry, don't understand it." Can't
Uh,
comprehend.
yes, I can totally understand that. And honestly, I just think the whole word daddy and mommy are weird. Like when you're grown up, I think it's weird if you call anybody mommy or daddy.
Yeah. And
Unless, like, in your situation when you have a kid or, like, a baby and saying, like, "Oh, you love daddy," like, that's different. That's
yeah,
an
that's, like, how I use it. And then I hear other people use it in a different way, and I'm like, why?"
Now, all I ask for you is when you come home from work tomorrow, just go up to Mark and be like, "Hey, daddy."
No, he would think it's so funny because he knows I can't stand it. Oh,
Yeah. It's
major
definitely
major, major ick. Okay, do you wanna try another beer before we go on to our next one?
yes, because I know the next one is shortbread, and that's my other favorite, so I'm ready.
Yes. Okay, so before we move on again, I forgot to say that, Thin Mints are really good with any, like, stout or porter, which I feel like is, like, makes sense. I don't really even feel like I need to explain that. So, if anybody wants to do
Yeah.
this, yeah, like any dry stout, they said is pretty good, so, that's what I suggest. Okay, so the next one is the shortbreads, which what are they also called? Trefoils, I think, or
Yeah,
something
but I
like
don't know
that?
why.
But they're the OG shortbread cookies, and, I'm pairing mine with Bald Birds Brewing Company's Color Trails, which is a hazy pale ale. Are you doing the same thing, or are you
I'm gonna
doing
try this.
okay.
Yay.
Which is funny because you said that you don't like mass-produced IPAs and you are going to drink one.
I know. It's sad because my friend was a dog sitter for me for a while and I bought these because her boyfriend likes them and they drank everything else in my fridge but these beers.
Oh, I forgot that. I
Yeah. And I like Lagunitas, but it's one of those ones like I wouldn't buy a six pack.
right. Yeah, I'm excited because I just have had this beer before and I love it. So, I am excited. Oh, and then since I keep forgetting to explain, this also had, like, a pretty good pairing list of things you could do it with, like anything hazy, or pale hazy or a pale ale, so like hazy IPA, pale ale. They even said like a normal lager too would work too. Anything light like a pilsner also. So I just went with something that I know that I like, and also tried to find something that Jess would maybe like, but since I know she wanted like a traditional IPA in this, I told her to maybe grab her own. Forgetting that I had a full 12 pack of IPAs in my basement that I could have given her until I got home from dropping all of these things off to her. So,
Also, I can't believe that instance you did not ring the doorbell. All I got was a ring notification. But my phone was silenced, of course, because I'm an asshole, and I was watching The Bachelor, and Anthony was like, "Who's at the front door?" I was like, "I think it's Shannon." And he's like, "Well, too late, she already walked away." And then Chelsea was like, "Shannon was here? Was she coming to watch The Bachelor with us?" I
no,
was
I was not.
dropping off cookies.
I was not. I had to drop off the cookies and I was gonna do it yesterday, but then it snowed. And so I was like, well, I can't just have all of these 12 beers in my fridge and all of these 6 things of cookies because I will drink and eat it all. And I knew you were watching The Bachelor because your phone was silenced. And when I say silenced, I mean it was on do not disturb. And I was like, every time I texted you, I was like, she's not even going to get this. This is so annoying. So I was like, I am just going to drop this off. And it was in the middle of Bachelor time. And also, honestly, I had to go home and work. So I was like, I can't. So I was
Like,
like, if
where are
I,
you?
well, I was preparing because I knew that I was only going to be able to work half the day yesterday because
Oh,
they
so it was
canceled.
a snow day.
Correct. So that's exactly what happened. So really, I was just being proactive, Jessica.
I need to take a page out of your book. I saw it snowing outside and I was like, I'm just gonna stay home. I
Oh, I
actually
stayed
did.
home.
Oh, but Brady was off daycare, right?
Right. So I had to, Mark and I had to split the time.
No,
I
thank you.
know. Okay. Did you eat the cookie?
Yeah, I already knew I loved a shortbread cookie. I feel like it would be good with any beer. And also, I did kind of want to open the color trail, but I want to open it when I can drink the whole thing because I do not think anything from Bald Birds can be bad.
I think you're doing it wrong because you could just drink the whole thing because that's my plan.
That's true. Is this a new one?
No. I mean, it's like new as in they canned these cans very recently, but it's not new. Like they've had it previously.
Well, I must try.
Did you have the beer yet with it?
Of course I did. It's also not my favorite, but I love it. IPA. I'm just not winning today.
Hey, actually, I feel like you liked the other two not bad.
I did actually really like this Puddler's Row.
I
It's
know, I keep watching you drink it, and I'm not calling you out on it, but I have been watching you drink it. So,
me
hmm,
alone.
interesting. Okay, so second ick. Lay it
Oh,
on me.
my next ick is I this might actually be a deal breaker for me because I cannot stand people who do this. It is a one-upper. So if you're in conversation with somebody, I hate when people also make your conversation about themselves.
Oh, that was mine.
Really? Dang it. And my second piggyback to that is people who always have to one up you on everything. It drives me insane. I dated people like that. And not only is it like embarrassing when you're in a group of people and they're one upping your friends or like your family, it's just cringy in general. I'm like, nobody likes a one upper. I've never met anybody who liked a one upper.
No, unless they're like talking to themselves because
Yeah.
that's all they're obsessed with. Yeah, that was like just a piggyback off of yours. That was mine too, in a sense that like even and because I was trying to make them general enough where it's like not related to one gender or even couples, like because you can have icks with like friends too. And sometimes it's so frustrating when no matter what you say, like it comes back and they talk only about them. And that's totally fine, like to be just trying to like understand each other. That doesn't that's not the problem. It's more of like sometimes they don't even recognize that you even said anything and they just directly go into talking about themselves and they do it all the time. Like it's just like a trait of a person. And that is for me. It's like how do you not know?
Or like you just don't understand social cues. Like you could definitely understand or see when people aren't really listening to you or
Mhm.
when you're telling a story, they're just I always read these memes that's like when I say that's crazy for the fifth time, it means I'm over the story or like that. And I just think some people don't pick up on those social cues because they're so self-obsessed.
Yeah, I think they just don't give a shit, to be honest. Like those people know that I think, especially at our age, like you know that you do that. You have to know that you do that at this point in time where you just only talk about yourself and you just don't care.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad we're not friends with people like that because I don't know. I
I've
don't even
I've had friends like that. I mean, and it's sometimes it's like it's very confusing because sometimes those people aren't like the worst friends and they can really be there for you in like times of need. But on like a daily basis, like if you like you have certain friends where you're gonna text them and like bitch about your day or bitch about something, and like they're just going to be like, yeah, that totally sucks. Everything sucks. That person sucks. Like those aren't the people that you reach out to, because they'll just start talking about themselves. Like they're good friends sometimes for certain things, but not like overall in any circumstance. Like they'll be there for you in the way that you need
Yeah.
it. So I
I
think
also
that's
think people like that are kind of exhausting to be around because they
Mhm.
just talk the whole time about themselves, and it's like you can't really respond to everything. Eventually, you just stop listening.
Yeah, you say, yeah, that's crazy 5 times.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, can the story be over now? I'm just gonna go back to my day.
I know, I know. Okay, that's a really good one, and I feel like probably many people's icks, so that's very relatable. So, that was a good one. My next one is my second one was like nonstop talking about yourself, like no matter what. But my next one is very specific.
Ooh, I'm excited. I don't
So
think I know it.
I think like this is an ick for a lot of people, but I'm gonna get more specific than this, but it's like chewing with your mouth like open and it being loud. So it's actually like this is very specific again. It's like any bodily noise that comes from your face. So
Like
let
a
me like what?
like a hiccup.
No, I can't say that because I had hiccups for 7 straight years. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
So I can say that because then I would just say I was a total ick for 7 years. So I can say that. No, like burping and stuff like that, like normal bodily functions and coming out of your mouth, like not not an ick. But like chewing so loud, no matter what, if your mouth is open or if it's not open and you can still hear somebody chewing, that bothers me. Or like you have something like your nose is like you itch your nose, but you like hear your nose being itched, which is comical because honestly, I'm gonna call myself out. Like my nose makes a lot of noise. So it's like I'm an ick to myself, drives me nuts. Or like when you're itching your eye, you can like hear your eye. Do you not know? Is that not like a thing for you?
I've never felt my eyeball. The other ones I can get behind.
No, not felt it, like, you hear it, like, you hear,
Oh, it's like the
like
squeaky thing. Yeah.
yes, it
Okay.
can't I can't,
Ew,
you
I don't want to think
don't
about
know,
it.
like, when I'm talking about these things, like, I get so grossed out, like, it really is a true yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yuck.
I can relate to that because Anthony slurps his food and it
Mhm.
truly drives me insane.
Well,
Like,
Mark's gonna be
sometimes I'm like,
listening to this.
can you please stop slurping your food?
Yeah, I mean, Mark's gonna listen to this and he absolutely is gonna know like why I'm saying this because he chews and his mouth is closed. I've never met another human where your mouth is closed and you can still hear a person chew. And he does that. And I literally the other day I was like, why can I hear you? Like, well, your mouth is closed. He's like, again, such a Mark Vandenberg thing to say, but he's like, well, I just chew with purpose. I do everything with purpose. And I'm like, "Oh my god." It's like, "I'm gonna punch
I
you."
feel like I have to text him. I chew with purpose.
It's a real killer, but honestly, like, it's me too, like, my nose makes so many noises when I itch it. It's so frustrating.
The eyeball thing is really in my head now because I know the sound that you're talking about, and but my eyeball doesn't make that sound often.
I know it's weird, and I can't and I feel bad, and that's why it's like an ick because it's not like anybody can control those things that happen. It's just like, "Oh, ugh, I just don't like it. I don't like it."
My next ick, this will be I don't know. I'll probably think of another one. I could go on all night because I really have a lot of icks about things. But Anthony actually gave me this because in the car on our way to our Valentine's Day date at Red Robin Cheeseburger Palace, I said, "What is your ick?" And he said, people who crave attention, but negative attention. So they brag about like bad things that happen to them. So people
Oh,
feel badly for them. And I was like, that is genius because I hate that shit. I,
wow, that is such a good one.
I know. I was like, I would have never thought of that, but
Good
that
job, Anthony.
I was like, you may not listen all the time, but thank you for participating in the podcast.
Oh my gosh, I know. So I know we said, because I just listened to the Valentine's Day episode, um, that we were gonna tell the listeners like how many episodes we have left. You don't remember, do you?
I think it's two.
Right. So you know that we're gonna have to have the guys on an episode.
I know. Should we do the final one?
I think we should do the final one because my friend asked like when they're coming on, and I'm like, oh, I don't know
I'm
because
so excited for it.
well, it's crazy because Mark listens to every episode, and I just found out like 2 weeks ago that Anthony has only listened to the first one.
Yeah, he only listened to the first one. It was because I was listening to it while I was getting ready for work and he was still upstairs. So he was like, I don't want to listen to you chicken heads talk every week. But then
He's
if we record it here, he like listens while
I
we're
know.
recording it. So I'm like, you're still sort of listening though.
Still listening, but that's why I think it's gonna be so interesting because he has no idea what we talked about at all. So I feel like you're gonna have to give him a lowdown because I feel like we're gonna have to ask them, like, okay, is there anything you want to clear like in the air that like we said that you don't think is true?
I know. And I was also trying to think about what our kind of overall topic will be with them on. Or do
I
we
know.
need?
Well, we have to do a shot with them because we were gonna do a shot ski, but I feel like we have to just do a shot
Yeah.
because
Of
we won't have a shot ski probably. So
compliments.
no, no, we'll figure it out. But I do think we don't have that many episodes left. So, but we are figuring it out. We'll be back for a second season. It
If
could
anyone
be
knows about a sponsor, I'm close to that one person. I feel like he's going to be the ask.
okay. Well, we're really looking for a sponsor. Would love to have a sponsor for our second season. But regardless,
We're
we
gonna
will
do
be back. We'll be back. We just don't know if it will be like 2, 3 weeks off or 2, 3 months off. We don't know yet. So, but honestly,
okay. Our comeback is going to be epic.
I know we will we'll try to have an answer, obviously, like for our last episode when we think we'll be back. But it did make me laugh because I'm like, oh shoot, like we haven't had them on and we talk about them obviously every single week.
Yeah, I
So
feel
we
like people
have to do it.
know who they are, or at least their voices if they don't watch the video.
I know. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Okay. So before we got into a few more icks that I like asked my coworkers on, because obviously no one helped me come up with this topic, we will do our last pairing, which I feel like is the most out of the box one. So we're gonna do the lemonade with also Bald Birds Brewing, Blueberry Blop, which is a blueberry IPA. So
never eaten one of these cookies either. They're the
oh my
lemon, right?
goodness, yes. So they're lemon. They used to be do you know the peanut butter sandwich cookies, not the chocolate ones, the ones that are in the orange box?
Yeah.
They used to be in a sandwich like that. And
Oh.
now they just look like this. And I liked them better when they were in a sandwich.
I miss the thanks a lots, the shortbreads with the chocolate on the bottom.
Yeah, those were better than to me than like the French toast ones.
I love the French toast
I
ones.
know you do. I don't understand. But yes, while Jess is trying this cookie for the first time, this also had like a few different things you could try it with. A wheat beer. Also, these were like kind of similar to what you can eat with the shortbreads, but they definitely put like a sour in here. So that's why I tried to do like something like a little soury. So sours, or they did say IPA, but more of like a fruit IPA because again, it would be with like a fruit cookie. So
Notes that you're reading off of.
No, I'm just
Oh, you're
remembering things.
oh. I thought you were reading a sheet of paper or something.
No, I'm just staring at the beers because it's helping me remember what I was supposed to write down and that I didn't write down. Okay, Jess is trying the beer.
Ooh, that's good. Do they have
Is
a
it?
I'm
Okay, I haven't tried it yet. So, yeah, but sour beer. So I actually, when I was picking these out, I bought like 3 sour beers because I don't drink sours, and again, when I did this last year, that was like one of the coolest pairings because I don't like sour beers, and I had it with something I think that was lemon, and it was so good. So I was like, that's why I want to do this again. So is the beer sour?
mm-mm.
It's just
I don't
like
think it's sour,
it's just like sweet. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
but I don't think it's overly sweet.
That's good. I like these cookies, but I like them better in sandwich form.
I got something sour. I think it's the lemon.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's a good pairing.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'm excited with how all of this played out. Okay, so 4 cookies, 4 beers. What was your favorite beer, your favorite cookie, and your favorite pairing?
Oh, well, my favorite beer, I will say, is this blueberry IPA, which is probably not a surprise to the whole world.
Yep, not a shock there.
Obviously, my favorite cookie is a Thin Mint because I will never not buy Thin Mints, even though I don't like the Girl Scouts. And I think my favorite pairing is shockingly this Irish cream stout and a Thin Mint.
Wow, look at
Oh,
that.
a nice combo, and probably the only time I'll ever drink a dark beer.
And
In
enjoy it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Okay. Okay, so my favorite cookie is the caramel delight, and then my favorite beer was the Color Trails Hazy Pale Ale from Bald Birds, and then my favorite pairing, which it could have gone honestly anyway for me, is the ESB from Conshohocken with the caramel delight, which I had last year. So out of like doing this twice, that's been like my favorite both times.
Ooh,
I know.
what a good idea.
I know this is genius. Like, oh, I think like a lot of places do this too.
Like breweries in
Yeah.
general?
And I think there's like wineries that do it.
Interesting. I wouldn't
Hmm.
know that. But they
Yeah.
also, I feel like they've taken Girl Scout cookies to another level. I saw in Target the other day they had Girl Scout Thin Mint smelling shampoo. And I'm like, okay, we need to stop here.
Shampoo.
Yeah, from the Native company, it was Thin Mint shampoo. I was like, we have gone too far with this now.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot
I
happening.
don't know if I want to smell like Thin Mints, but I'll eat them.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, a few more icks just because I asked people their opinions today. And then I think this is an amazing topic that we will obviously put a poll on when this comes out, to keep people updated on what everybody else is thinking because it feels like a lot of them are pretty similar, but some pretty good ones. One that was like a general consensus was people that treat restaurant employees like dirt. Like,
I love it.
why is that necessary? It's not.
I don't know. I hate people that also complain at a restaurant, but then eat the food anyway. So
Mhm.
it's like it couldn't have been that bad.
Yes, agreed. Those definitely go those people are usually the same types of people, to be honest.
And they probably complain to retail workers too. They're just those types.
Oh, yeah, that's actually to me, yeah, that's just as bad. I was gonna say worse, but I think it's just as bad. So that was one. One that I like really liked that I thought was really funny is putting a shopping cart back. Like people that don't put shopping carts back.
Oh, that is a really good one.
I I know.
Of people who don't put them back, like if I was the person who had to collect the shopping carts, I would be pissed every time.
Yeah, I think like I feel like if there's like one there, I want to always give the benefit of the doubt and be like, it's because somebody had a baby that was, like, having a total fit and they had to just get in the car and leave, or somebody felt unsafe and they were like, "I gotta go, I gotta leave this year." But, like, I feel like that's not actually really it, but I always like to give the benefit of the doubt and think that that's why.
That makes sense, but it's
I
probably
Isn't that a good one though? I thought that that was, like, a pretty good one, and then, this one seems to be, like, more specific to women, because it was from, like, my guy friend coworker, and I also do this, but it's basically, like, you're getting ready, you say you're ready, you're about to leave, like, you have everything ready, and then you lose your phone, you can't find it, and then you spend 15 minutes doing it. And it's like, "Why? You just
feel
said you were
attacked.
ready." Hmm,
I feel attacked on that one.
right? Me too. I said, that's me. I do that a lot."
Or, like, you lose your phone and you have to play the little, Find My iPhone tone. I have to do that all the time because I
Or
know
you
it's
don't
there somewhere.
Yeah, or you don't have it, and that's, like, specifically what he said too. He's like, "And then you just have to be really quiet, and you have to try and hear it because it's on vibrate, and you can't hear it," and that's literally what I do too. So I'm like, "That is me." I was like,
Or
"I
you
will share
have
that
to
one
be
though for the people because we are not just for what we think," but I was like, "That's hilarious," and I do that. And then the last one is, um, people having their phones in bed. So, like, you're, like,
Mhm.
getting ready to, like, go to sleep, and then you're actually supposed to be sleeping, and somebody's just, like, scrolling.
Well, I do that, so
I've done half
I
these things, so I'm
I
like,
don't
"Wow,
disagree. I actually scroll, like, Instagram Reels before I go to sleep.
why?" Like, what does that do for you?
It definitely kinda, like, helps me sleep, and I love sending Anthony all the videos even though we're right next to each other, and I love seeing my reaction compared to his reaction, and most recently, I've been scrolling videos about how to use heatless hair curlers so that I made like, the one time I couldn't fall asleep till midnight, so I spent 3 hours watching videos of heatless hair curlers.
I didn't know that there were 3 hours worth of videos that show you that.
There is. There's multiple ways to use it. So I am definitely one of those people that scroll before bed.
Wow. I mean, so do I. But I think it's like you get to a point and then you stop. But sometimes it's like you're on it for hours. You said you did that like one night, but I think it's like people that do it nonstop. And like the screen is there, it's so bright. The other person's trying to sleep. Like I get
I
that.
get it. Yeah, I'd be
I mean,
pissed.
I do it, but I get it.
I give myself the ick, but I'm still gonna do it
I
tonight.
give myself the ick with my nose and with that and with the phone, apparently.
And with your freaking eyeball rubbing.
Yo, it's that's I just have an eye phobia. It's just very bad. I don't
Next
like it.
time I hear my eyeball noise, I'm gonna think of you.
Ugh, I can't stand it. Okay, but that leads us to what is your ick? We are gonna post this on a poll. We're really excited to hear responses. Honestly, I might um if we have a decent amount, I will probably share them on our story like before the next episode just so that other people can see them because I think that it will just be funny to see people's
I'm
response.
so excited to hear. I need to remember to read the polls because I never do, so I never know who says what. But I am very excited for a certain few people's responses. I might just text them directly and be like, "Can you tell me what your ick is?"
Well, I feel like the one person that you're probably thinking of gave us 3 hot takes. So I think she'll probably give you many icks. So if you
I'm
had to
already
guess, our
excited.
fellow drunk wife, that's not Missy. So yes. Okay, but thank you so much for tuning in. I actually started a timer, so we this is a pretty long episode.
We have a lot of icks. We can't help it.
We have a lot of icks and we like a lot of cookies and we like a lot of beer.
Yeah,
So,
leave us alone.
yeah, I'm really excited about this though. I think that this pairing was really exciting. So, if anybody has any questions or needs any opinions on beers to try with any cookies, let me know. The one that I almost did was I have a peanut butter stout
Ooh.
and I almost did that with the peanut butter chocolate cookie, but I thought that that would be way too much, so I didn't do it.
Too much. It does not exist.
The limit does not exist. Yeah. Is this the first actual recording that we've done since dry January that we are, like, drinking in that wasn't just, like, the one high noon that we had? I think it is.
One when you would only let me have one high noon, but then we got drunk afterwards. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, we did pretty good.
We did. We're responsible. We
Well,
didn't have one
we
yet.
just love each other and wanna spend Valentine's Day with each other.
That's who we are. Leave us alone.
I know, actually, I'm gonna take a picture of us and I'm gonna post it on, our social media because, you know how, like, everybody is like, "Oh, this is my Valentine," and it's always, like, their husband or their child or yeah, I am gonna put all those people, but then I'm gonna end it with you.
Oh my gosh, I am very excited.
So exciting. Okay, thank you so much for listening. We do only have a few more episodes left this season, so if there's anything that we didn't talk about yet that you want us to talk about either at the end of this season or at the beginning of next season, definitely just let us know. Feel free to Instagram DM us, or most of our listeners know us. So just text us and tell us what you want to hear about.
Yeah.
But thanks for listening, rate, review, subscribe, tell every person you know so that we can get a sponsor for our second season and tap in next week.
Bye.
Bye.